Space Coast Daily is here at the top of the beautiful exploration tower at Port Canaveral, and Glenn Willis, who is running for Port Canaveral Commission, has asked us to come out so he can really explain to us his views about his vision for Port Canaveral and why he should be chosen as a Port Commissioner. Glenn, thanks for inviting us today.
Thank you.
Tell the viewers of Space Coast Daily about yourself and your vision for the port.
Well, I'm from Titusville, born and raised. Been here 51 years. My family, I've got my wife Jennifer, son Wyatt, he's at the University of Florida, and daughter Victoria. I went to the University of Florida when I graduated from high school, and I got a degree in entomology. Throughout those years, I worked in Palatka at a meatpacking plant, and I ended up running the plant. We supplied meat to Wendy's all throughout Florida, about 150,000 pounds of meat a week. And during that time, I built and bought 3 restaurants, and then I had a tragedy in my family and got out of that business, moved back here to Titusville, and went into the pest control business. And when I started here, started out with a truck and a tank, and we ended up buying 3 other companies, rolled them up from here to St. Augustine. And after about 8 years of driving up there with small children, Terminex purchased my company from me. So I ended up back home, and once I was home, looking around, I ended up out at Kennedy Space Center. There was an opportunity for an entomologist, and there's not always a lot of entomologists around, so I jumped at the opportunity. I thought that I could contribute there, and have been very successful. I've worked with the company I'm with now to bid on contracts. We won McDill. We won this contract a second time, and I've been very fortunate that I've loved my job, and I've learned quite a bit about government contracting. So
now tell us about your current role up at the Space Center, and what have you learned about Kennedy Space Center and its role here integrated with Port Canaveral?
I'm a program manager, which means I run a contract. We're a prime contractor, a 5-year contractor to NASA. And what I've learned is that the difficulties that you can run into with a government entity can be challenging. And it takes a lot of experience and a lot of time to whittle your way through it. And I've gotten, I hope, good at it, because I'm a good steward of what it is I do. We take care of the infrastructure, the grounds, the canals and waterways, and the rail system at Kennedy Space Center, among other things. We also contract to SpaceX, Space Florida, and we do some work right now for Boeing, and we're starting with Blue Origin.
Now, Space Coast Daily has been out all over the political landscape of Brevard County for this primary, and listening to people, listening to our viewers and our readers, and people maybe have a perception that you are an environmentalist person who's anti-growth. Address that issue for us.
Absolutely not. I mean, my job is to make growth happen. Well, at the Space Center, when we have projects and things we need to do, I make sure that we do it the right way. So it's an environmentally sound project. But I never stand in the way of growth. I'm always working to do it the right way. And I think that's important. I think growth's important.
Now, as you look out at the port here over this beautiful landscape of Port Canaveral, the vision, as you look out over here, how do you see Port Canaveral growing in the future? And how do you see it best, integrating with the Brevard County voters?
Well, I know with me, it's this venue right here at the Cove. I mean, I'm out here at least twice a week. I come out for breakfast, we come out for dinner with my family. I mean, this is a very important part of the port. It's the part that people enjoy, it's the part people see. The cruise ships, they're a huge part of what we've got here. They're a huge asset. They've helped build up this whole community, and it's been good, clean growth. It's the kind of growth people have been happy with. So that's my vision. I mean, the balance has been very good so far, and we need to be careful about how we do it, and we need to bring other participants into the conversation. The port needs to be very transparent with what they plan to do so the community can be involved. It's their port.
Tell us about your interpretation of the current situation with the Lagoon, and how you see the port involved in the cleanup and improvement of our lagoon.
The lagoon has been a long-term issue. This started back in the 40s with the orange groves, then the cities with their sewage treatment, stormwater runoff, growth that wasn't managed properly. There have been a lot of issues, and it's built up over a very long period of time. There's no instant fix, but there are a lot of things that we should be trying, and the biggest challenge is getting the federal government out of the way so we can try some of these things. But it's a big issue, and we need to work on it. The port could be the leader in environmental stewardship. They have all kinds of programs here right now that are environmentally sound. They're a very good steward of their footprint, and they need to transfer that information, well, actually communicate the information better. The other thing is this tower that we're standing in right now would be a good forum to have scientific conferences, have informational sessions. It would be an opportunity for the port to bring a lot of parties together. And we're looking at a great area out here for festivals. We love our lagoon. Who knows? I think it's just, there's a lot of opportunities. I don't see the port as having the mandate of cleaning up the river, because they didn't do it. It was everybody over a long period of time, but they can lead the fight to clean it up.
Well, Glenn, should the voters choose you as their commissioner up on the Port Council here, tell us what kind of a commissioner you will be. What will be your style of leadership and management?
Hopefully I can be the best I can be, and the way I want to do that is, number one, I'm going to be approachable. I answer phone calls. When people call me, I call you back. I'm doing that in the campaign. I do it every day. I even speak to salespeople. So, and then when I get started, I'm going to look, learn, I'm going to listen. I'm going to talk to the people that work here every day, because that's the greatest knowledge base that anyone can have, is the people that are on the ground every day working. They're the ones that know what's going on, and they're the ones that have solutions, many times better solutions than we come up with. So that's the key. And then we speak to the citizens, because once again, I go back to this transparency issue. We have to speak to the citizens because they've got concerns. And if we don't tell them what we're doing and what we're up to, they're just going to fill in the blanks. And we can't have that. We've got to talk.
Well, Glenn, you're a professional person out at the Space Center. How much time are you actually going to have to devote to this job?
I'll be here every day. If you look across the river, we're next door neighbors. So it's not a big jump for me to get over here. And this is my interest. This is what I want to do. So full time. I'll be here every day.
Now, as far as working, you have to work with the rest of the council members on the council to obviously move your agenda forward. What's your style of management and leadership, and how will you sort of impart your opinion and get things done here at the port?
Cooperation. You have to listen to other people, and you have to understand what their goals are. And I mean, that's what we're doing here. We're learning from other people. We're merging our goals, and we're making this place work. And my ideas aren't always going to be the best, but I hope that we can come to the best solution together. So I'm the guy that will work with everyone.
Now, looking out at this beautiful Port Canaveral area, as you can see, there's a Disney cruise ship and those fantastic cranes. Obviously, there's quite a controversial topic about cargo here at the port. Tell us about your vision for cargo at the port and how it should best be managed.
Well, the cargo issue, there's a lot to learn. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. Cargo is a valuable commodity. I understand that it would diversify the port, and it's a good thing to have diversity here. I just don't know how much we can do. And that's something for me to learn. We are a smaller port. We don't have the space of some of the larger ports. And I don't know that we want the type of port that Jacksonville, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, what we see down there. And I don't think that's what the vision is here either. I don't think that's what's going to happen. So I think cargo is important. I just don't know to what level. I have to learn that.
Well, Glenn, do you have a message for the Brevard County voters here on Space Ghost Daily? And what comparisons can you draw between you and your opponent?
Well, my message is come out and see us, look for events, contact me, and talk to me. I mean, that's the way to get a feel for a candidate. You talk to them. As far as the differences between my opponent and myself, I'm older, I'm more experienced, I've got the gray hair, I've had a great amount of diversity in my background. I've dealt with government contracts, I've bought and sold businesses, I've dealt with large corporations, I've dealt with very, very highly regulated business environments. Pesticide, aquatic management, federal government, federal export laws. I mean, just about anything you can imagine associated with government contracting in the environmental realm, I've dealt with. So you learn quite a bit. And I've also bid on quite a few large government contracts. And every time you do that, it's a learning experience. So, and I've run for office. Doing this teaches you quite a bit.
Well, Glenn, thank you for your time today and the best of luck in the campaign.
Thank you, sir.